What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at some NHL trade rumors from Specters Hockey for August 28th. Now, there's going to be a lot of information that comes from this article, as well as some just little things that I wanted to add myself. I always give my opinion as well, so you guys can see two different opinions, one from Specters Hockey, which the link will be down below for you to read, and of course from myself, saying it to you guys right now. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this. Sorry for the lack of videos. I've been going through some stuff lately. I've been really busy, but you know, just hang on. There's going to be tons of videos coming up. I'm really dedicated to doing this from now on because the hockey season's coming up and there's going to be a ton of stuff to talk about. So let's get into some NHL trade rumors and some little stuff that could be trade rumors for the future. So first I wanted to talk about Tyler Seguin. Now, he is, I believe, at like a BioSteel camp right now that he does every single year. I'm not sure if he's the one that runs it, but he's always a huge part of it. And, you know, it's pretty cool, and, you know, you don't really expect too much to come out of that when it comes to, like, serious media coverage. You know, for, like, him talking about a contract, you'd expect it to be something about BioSteel or, you know, just having fun with the guys and stuff like that. Well, Tyler Seguin discussed the fact that he is very disappointed that there hasn't been any contract negotiations, or there hasn't been anything that's really been close between him and the Dallas Stars. Now, we know that after this season, he will be an unrestricted free agent, which means he could hit the open market. And if he does, of course, we just seen what happened with John Tavares. If he decides that there's some tempting offers from other teams and he feels like maybe Dallas isn't going to give him a better shot to win, he might bounce. He might get out of there. And you know what? Dallas is a very interesting team for me because I feel like they are a little bit better than people give them credit for. They do have some young guys like Heiskanen, I guess. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I've said it in videos before and I'm not sure if I'm ever saying it correct. But, you know, they've got at least a lot of great pieces there. I mean, Ben Radulov is there as well. Like, they've got guys that can put up points. Now, Seguin apparently said this, you know, multiple times, that he was very upset about the fact that they didn't get anything worked out. He figured he would have a contract by now. And whenever you hear a star player, if not, you know, arguably the best player on the team, you hear him say that stuff, you're kind of like, oh man, this is not good. There's got to be more communication between Seguin and the Stars, and Stars fans are probably not very pumped about that. And you know what? It kind of sucks because he is a great player, and I know Gravity, you know, he's a Stars fan. He's probably not too impressed with the conversations that are going on, but hopefully that they get something going here, because Seguin probably wants to stay there. If he's so disappointed, it seems as though he wanted a contract by now, so he must want to stay there, of course. So we'll have to see what happens. If it gets done before the season, I kind of doubt it, if, you know, talks haven't really gotten anywhere yet. But, you know, there is still some time, and we'll have to see where it goes. The next thing I wanted to talk about is Jacob Trouba from the Winnipeg Jets. Now, this is kind of like a rumor for now, but something that can be discussed in the future as well, and I kind of want your opinions down below. And, you know, with every rumor that I talk about, I want you guys to give your opinions down below. Trouba, we all know that what's been going on. There haven't really been any long-term discussions for contracts because the numbers are kind of a little bit far. And we do know that this is going to happen again next year. They had arbitration this year. He was looking for like $7 million. They were at $4.5, I believe. He ended up getting like 5.5, I believe, for 1 year. And next year, there's a lot of contracts that they have to deal with. Of course, I've got a list here. They've got to deal with Blake Wheeler, Patrick Laine, Kyle Connor, and Tyler Myers. And of course, you also add Trouba to that list. They're probably not going to have the money to do that. Those are all high-profile type of names right there. And you're telling me that they're going to fit all those guys? And I know people are going to say, well, what about your Toronto Maple Leafs? Listen, next year, yes, they do have to deal with a lot of contracts. They are dealing with William Nylander right now. But the fact of the matter is those guys right there, that's a bigger crop. Those are a lot bigger names than you're probably, you know, of course, Matthews and Martin are huge names, but, I mean, that's two huge names. You've got Laine, Kyle Connor, who looks so good, Blake Wheeler, like, come on, man. Tyler Myers, Trouba, that's a lot of big names to deal with contracts when, you know, they already thought that they were clearing out some cap space with getting rid of Mason. It's going to be very, very tough next year unless they make some like huge moves to clear out a ton of space, which it doesn't really make sense. And a lot of people, and including the Specters Hockey article, are saying that he could become the odd man out. Now, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a trade before the season starts. They feel like if there was to be a trade, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen, I'm just saying rumor-wise, if something like this would happen, because they're going for a Stanley Cup this year, it might be a little bit easier for them to just be like, okay, listen, if we can't get something locked down long-term here, this is not going to work. We have to deal with so many other guys. We're going to have to move on from this guy, get younger, maybe get some cheap roster players that, you know, won't be demanding $6 or $7 million per. That might be on an entry-level deal, because, you know, Trouba is going to get you quite a lot. I mean, he has had a lot of injuries, but let's not forget the fact that he is a great piece for that Winnipeg Jets team, and they probably want to hold on to him. And, you know, it's even said in this article, and I totally agree with this, it's common sense. If he was to get an offer that was, you know, a long-term deal, 6-7 years for $7 million annually, of course he's going to want to take that. But with all those names that are going to need money, Liney's going to get big money, Wheeler's going to get big money, Connor's going to get a good chunk, Myers is going to get a good chunk, and then you add Trouba, who wants $7 million per, could end up, and he's already getting 5.5 for 1 year. I mean, that number's going to go up again if he stays healthy and has a good year. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do, but it's not looking too pretty for them in the future, and I honestly do think that there will be a trade coming from the Jets next year, and they are Cup contenders. I honestly think they could win the Stanley Cup this year, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. So it might be a little bit easier for them to move on from one of their bigger names if they do end up with some hardware, and that would be the Stanley Cup. Probably the last thing I'm going to mention here, because there is some other little quick notes that I'll give you guys at the end. Wayne Simmonds. This one is just weird to me. So apparently there could be some rumors surrounding his name that, you know, they're not really discussing a contract right now, because he will be available after the season. And people are like, okay, well, he's on an affordable deal. He is 30 years old, but we brought in James Van Riemsdyk. Apparently there was rumors they tried to deal him at the trade deadline. I know we heard some rumors about it. I view Simmonds as a guy that they should keep. Now, I'm not really sure how much is going into this Simmonds rumor, because I was just reading it, and it feels like they just might not want to lose him for nothing. And, you know, this team could be competing this year, but if they feel like they can't get a long-term deal done, if they feel like Simmonds could be a guy that could walk at the end of the season, they might want to look at a trade. Probably not before the season starts, but maybe towards the trade deadline, especially if they're not in the playoffs. But if they are a contending team, I can't see how they would get rid of Simmonds, especially if he has a good year. And you know what? I think that they'll end up trying to re-sign him. It's just how and when. Because they're going to, first of all, they're going to be looking. If he doesn't have a good year and he gets hurt and, you know, he kind of falls off a little bit, I think it might be easier for them to just let him walk, even though they probably don't want to. But again, like I said, if he's at least producing and it's at the deadline and they're not really looking like a playoff team, then they would probably try to get something for him. They brought in James Van Riemsdyk for quite a bit of money, so they're probably not going to be hurting for goals, because, I mean, James Van Riemsdyk scores. Whether or not it's on the power play all the time, you know, that's beyond us. He's going to score. So you bring in him, but I always like to say I love depth scoring, and that's what Simmonds brings. So we'll have to see what happens there. Another couple quick notes I will mention. There's something here at the bottom for the Leaf fans out there. It's just a quick piece if you want to read it as well on Josh Levo, because, you know, it's looking like he could get a chance at playing some fourth line minutes this year because of the move of Matt Martin, of course, Van Riemsdyk, like I said, Bozak, Komarov. Like, there's been a lot of guys that are just, you know, off the roster. They have some younger pieces that will step in, like Janssen and Kapanen, but there is also spots open for a guy like Josh Levo to maybe make the team. We know Juris and Lindholm, like there's guys that might be at that bottom line there, but he could also be a part of it. We'll have to see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 4,000 subscribers. Again, I will be making a lot more videos and doing a lot more streams. Also, if you want to buy an Andrew Piluk hockey t-shirt, the link is down below. I just put the money back into the channel to make sure that we're putting out more quality. Also, if you want to save $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek, use code APH in all caps. $20 off. You can get tickets to games, you can get concert tickets, $20. I mean, you might as well save that and maybe you spend it at the game, buying food, whatever. It's, you know, it's an extra 20 bucks that you have. So use code APH in all caps. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, subscribe. Hopefully you guys will come back and watch some more vids. And I don't know how to do outros anymore. Vids. Like, what the heck was that? See you guys in the next one. Peace.